Hello, good morning. I'm not filming from a stand as I usually do, but I do film with my iPhone right now just by holding it in my hand. Since I'm again on a new location currently, I'm in the Maldives with my family. Really grateful for be here, and this also opens my eyes to see what's possible. But I'm here to share the weekly lesson with you, which I always do on the Wednesdays. So usually I open with directly sharing the lesson, but honestly I did just forgot that. I have prepared it, of course, but just for a little bit. And yeah, you may know I never do retakes. All the videos I take, honestly, all of them are one takers, so that's why I don't re-record them. But yeah, mm, the lesson which I learned over the last week, which I also saw a tweet from Denko, who said that simply there will always be something. There are always challenges. It's never that something is done. And when, which means that as soon as you solve problem X, there will be another problem, and it doesn't matter how big those problems are, since you determine how big they are. Like when your big problems are solved, you make your next smaller problem simply bigger, if that makes sense. So for example, let's say your GMC or let's say your Facebook business manager is completely shut down, you are not able to run any ads, then that's your biggest problem, of course, and you're aware of it. And that is kind of a big problem, since your complete business is shut down. However, when as soon as that's sold, for example, maybe you have some sand on your feet while you did just came from the beach, and your shoes are getting sandy and stuff, and it doesn't feel nice, then it's your problem. And honestly, then people kind of in some way treat those problems in the same ways and in on the same scale, if that makes sense. At least I have been seeing myself doing these kinds of things, not necessarily this example, but really like examples like this one, where yeah, honestly, if you solve one problem, your mind will just be creating the other problem, the new problem, to just to make you always be busy with something. Your mind will never say like, okay, this is right now completely done. It will be looking for problems when there are no problems. That's, I think, the lesson. And it's also, for example, something which Imangachi thought, and that's also what just came up in my mind when I was thinking about this lesson. He, for example, in his video where he showed that he bought his mom a $3 million house, he said that he saw that when he bought that house, it was not that it was all sunshine in her life from there on. That then she just started to create other problems for herself, and it was not that from that moment on life was completed and it was all perfect. Like, that will never be the case. When you, for example, and that's also what made me realize, like, people here, for example, may not even have food to eat, and they treat those problems in the same way as I treat it when I'm feeling a bit hot, for example, and it's just simply not comfortable for a bit. So what I learned from this and what I will be doing differently is realize that there will never be like an end. There will never be something which you make up into your mind where there won't be any more problems, where everything will be solved and your life is sorted out completely. There will always be something. And be aware when your mind just simply starts to create problems, and try to think, okay, how big of a problem is this in the end? Because I think it's really important to being able to determine, is this a real problem? And sometimes things are quite big of a problem. For example, when you're not in a good shape, I think that's kind of a big problem. You have to deal with it, and then it's important that you understand that importance of that problem. However, feeling a bit hot and not feeling comfortable because of it, that's not that big of a problem. So then also don't make it such. I think that's such a great lesson and something which you will be doing differently. And so those two things, and that's also where I will be concluding this video with. One, be aware of the fact that there won't be some point of life where you don't have any more problems, since your mind always will be creating more problems. And when you feel that there is a problem, be aware of the scale of that problem, since that's the only thing which will be changing. On which scale is this problem right now? So yeah, that's basically it for today's video. I hope this lesson clicks, you're able to connect the dots. For me it did. And then I will see you again on Sunday. I will be skipping the business recap on upcoming Friday, since I don't feel like I have much to add on the one I did, the last one I did. But the next one after it, so not upcoming Friday but the week after, will be fire, since there I will be explaining my complete business plan for the upcoming months, which I've been thinking about over the past week. But before that, I will be seeing you in the weekly recap of upcoming Sunday, when I will be back in my house, my room, where you will for sure realize that, recognize that place. So we'll see you there, and ciao.